Welcome everyone to the Domaine de Fontenille. My name is Manon and I will be your guide through this video. I will introduce you to the Domaine de Fontenille, its wine and a very special wine tourism activity that we propose here, the Blend Master. So you and me are going to make a bottle of wine at the end of the video, a blend of our own. So stay with me until the end of the video. But first, I want to thank you WinePath for the opportunity to introduce the Domaine de Fontenille on live. So thank you very much WinePath. And just so you know, I'm not wearing a mask today because I'm all alone in the winery. But if you visit us, I will wear a mask and all the sanitary conditions are optimal to welcome you here. So visit us when you want. Okay, so before we start your bottle of wine, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the spirit of the Domaine de Fontenille, the history, and the vineyard and the climate conditions. So, the Domaine de Fontenille always has been a wine estate since 1638. At that time, it was the Savornin family who owned the place, and they had already 12 hectares of vineyard. Alphonse de Savornin, one of the members of the family, in the 1850s, decided to build a beautiful mansion, a beautiful traditional bastide on the property in the middle of a beautiful park. There are big trees, big cedars in the park. It's great. His granddaughter continued to embellish the park and the house until the beginning of the Second World War. And she was called Amélie, and she was the last occupant of the mansion. And then, in 2013, Guillaume Fouché and Frédéric Bius, the current owners, fell in love with the place and decided to transform the mansion into a 4-star luxury hotel with inside 2 restaurants, 1 bistronomic restaurant called La Cuisine d'Amélie, and 1 gastronomic restaurant with 1 star at the Guide Michelin called Le Champ des Lunes. We also have a sustainable garden, and we make vegetables and flowers grow in sustainable ways. And Guillaume and Frédéric decided to keep up the wine activity here, so they rebuilt the winery in the middle of the vineyard. Before it was in the house, so this is the old winery, but now today we are in the brand new winery. So before we visit the winery, I want to tell you a little bit more about the Domaine de Fontenille, where it is located, and the climate. So come with me, I'm going to show you where we are exactly. We are between Marseille and Lyon, in the south of France, at the very south of the Rhône Valley region here. The Luberon, it's a big mountain, and Loris is the small village where we are. So we are located in the AOP Luberon, and our vineyard is all in AOP Luberon. Let me show you how beautiful it is around us. We have 40 hectares of vineyard all around the property. It is the protected national park, so the respect of the environment is very important for us. That's why we are certified organic since 2017. So the climate here, generally speaking, it's very dry. We have hot summers, we don't have a lot of rainfall, and we have a big wind called mistral, which dries everything because it's a very powerful wind. So moist is not one of our problems here. So what is important also is the soils. We have 2 types of soils. We have limestone and we have clay. The clay will be very good to preserve the few drops of water that we have during the years, because it's very dry, so it's very good for the vineyard. The vineyard will not be too thirsty because there will be a little bit of water held by the clay. And also, if it rains too much, we also have limestone. Limestone will drain the water, and the limestone rocks will keep the heat of the day and release the heat during the night, because as I told you, we are next to a mountain and the nights are very cold here. So the limestone will release the heat, so the grapes will continue to get a better maturation along the day and the night. So we are very lucky here, and we also control all of the yield. Here we don't produce a lot of quantity, we prefer to focus on the quality, of course, which means that we will leave on the vineyard a few grapes in order to let the vineyard concentrate more on a few grapes than on a lot of grapes. So yield are the key to a beautiful quality of grapes. Okay, now we know everything about the vineyard and the climate here. We can continue inside the winery. I'm going to show you all the equipment, so follow me and you will learn a little bit more about the vinification. It's this way. Here it is, our brand new winery. So here you can see that there are two floors. We are here on the top of the vat, and when the grapes arrive, they arrive by this door. They arrive at the top of the vat, and we can make them fall directly inside the vat or the press directly with gravity, so it's very convenient. It is also half buried. The winery is half buried, so it's very useful to preserve the cold inside the winery. It's very well isolated, so we don't need to waste too much energy to cool the winery during hot summers, during the harvest. Talking about the harvest, so as I told you, it arrives from here. The grapes are sorted on the sorting table. Here we keep only the good grapes, and we send the grapes into this machine which will remove the stem from the berries. So we keep only the berries, and they fall into the different vats or the press that is just below me. So come with me downstairs. I'm going to explain to you a little bit about the different types of vats that we have, and you will see that it will change a lot the taste of your wine. So come with me. Okay guys, we are downstairs. Here you can see the press. I didn't lie to you, the hole above me, the grapes can fall directly from this hole into the press. And just so you know, this press is very gentle. Once we found a snail inside, after we pressed the grapes, there was a snail and it was intact. So it doesn't crush the skin of the berry, which is very important because here we produce 50% of rosé, 35% of red and 15% of white. And as we press rosé directly, we can produce very clear rosés, so that's quite important. Okay, and for the white and the rosés, once we have pressed them, we send the juices inside the stainless steel vats. For the reds, it's a little bit different. We could use all the vats. We use the stainless steel, the concrete, and the oak. So, what is the difference between this kind of vats? Let's take the example of a cherry aroma. If you put your red wine inside the stainless steel vats, you will keep actually the freshness of the fruit aromas. If you take the cherry, for example, you will get very red cherry aromas, not quite ripe yet, so you will have a little bit of acidity, sharpness, and the freshness of the fruit. If you put the same grapes inside the concrete vats here, you can see that the concrete is porous inside. And the porosity of the concrete will catch little bubbles of air, and these little bubbles will be released during the vinification very slowly, and it will help maturate the fruit aromas. So, because it will create a micro-oxygenation of the wine. So, from the red cherry in stainless steel, here you will get dark cherry, more mature aromas coming from the concrete, okay? But the concrete, it doesn't give any other aromas. It will not add anything. It will just make this micro-oxygenation. It's not the case for the oak vat. The oak vat, if you put your grapes inside oak, you will have first your primary aromas, so your dark cherry aromas, let's say, and you will add also the oaky aromas coming from the barrel. So it will complexify the aromas of your wine. So you will get different qualities here. And now we have all of our grapes or juices inside the vats, we can start the vinification and the fermentations. So we control all the temperatures of each and every vat in order to control the fermentation. So you can see that here, for example, on all of our vats, we have a thermometer here. The cord control the yeast, actually. The yeast doesn't like the cold, and when they are cold, they don't eat, and they love to eat sugar. When it's warm, they start to eat the sugar and transform it into alcohol, so into wine. So now that we transformed our grape juice into wine, we are almost ready to bottle it, and so we could bottle our wine. But we don't want to do that yet, because right now we are going to focus on our Cuvée Alphonse, and the Cuvée Alphonse, it comes here in the aging room. It comes after the vinification for an aging in the barrels. So let me explain the different barrels that we have here. We have several sizes, and also we have different type of oak. We can see here that there is a small barrel, a little bit bigger barrel, and a very big barrel here. This one is 225 liters, this one is 400 liters, and this one is 500 liters. The size is important because in the small one, the wine will touch the wood everywhere, so the transfer of the oaky aromas inside the wine will be very important in small barrels. And for example, the last one, this one which is bigger, it will be less important. The transfer will be very soft. So here you will have very oaky wine, here a little bit oaky wine. And also the age of the barrel is very important. You can see here that it's a 2020, so this little oak barrel is very young, actually, it's brand new. So it will give a lot of oaky aromas because it's brand new. And if you take, for example, this one, which is a 2015, it will be less oaky because it already has been used several times. So now you know the theory about the barrels, we are going to start the practice. We are going to make together your bottle of Alphonse Red, but with a personalized blend. For the need of this video, I already took the samples of the qualities that we need, and also I prepared a little blend of my own. But of course, if you come here, it will be you who will make your blend by testing all the qualities, and you will decide what you want to do with your bottle of wine, okay? So, I took all the samples, but there's one empty here. Yes, that's the one that we are going to siphon together. So, come with me, we are going to take a sample of wine from a barrel. All you need is a bottle, a pipe, and of course a barrel full of wine. So you just put your pipe inside your bottle, So I am going to take a sample of Grenache, which is from a small oak barrel of 225 liters, and it's a brand new oak barrel from 2019. Let's do this. So I just put the pipe inside. You have to keep your bottle under the level of the wine to take your sample, and then you just have to breathe in. Don't be shy, because otherwise it won't work. So let's breathe together. Okay. It was quite easy actually. So you see that the wine is coming. We are going to fill the bottle, and when you want to stop, just raise the bottle under the level of the wine. Here we are. So now we take the pipe out, of course. We are not going to let it inside. Okay. Not a drop on the back. And we put the cork. Here it is, our sample. And if you come and do your bottle here, you will do the siphon step. Okay. Now we've got all of our qualities here. So all of it, it's Syrah Grenache, and it's all for the Cuvée Alphonse red. So now I'm gonna make the blend that I want to create. Let's do it together. I decided to make a bottle that is not too oaky. I just want 30% of my final blend with oaky, coming from oaky wines. So the first is a sample of Syrah and Grenache, and it comes from the stainless steel vats that we saw earlier. So this one is not oaky at all. And I felt violet and fresh red fruits, maybe red cherry, who knows. And I'm gonna put 35% of this quality. If I don't look, it will not work. 35, here it is. Okay. So this one is very sharp, it's a little bit acidic. It will give the acidity that my bottle needs to keep a few years, to be able to keep the bottle a few years. So 35, okay. Let's do the same with the concrete quality. The concrete quality, it's only Grenache. So 100% Grenache. And when I tried it earlier, I really felt the little forest fruits and very dry tannins, because our Grenache here are quite tannic. So I decided to add the tannins of the Grenache here with 35% again. So now we are at 70%. Okay, 70% of the blend done. And yet no oak. Now we continue with the third quality, which is 100% Syrah in the big oak vats that we saw earlier. So this one, for me, it was blackberry, it was very ripe blackberry aromas, and also licorice coming from the Syrah, but there was very soft tannins and not a lot of oaky aromas because it's a big vat. So let's put here 15% for my final blend. Okay. Okay. So here we are. Now we continue with the samples coming from the little barrels all over the aging room. This one, it's a Syrah Grenache, and it's actually this barrel from 2015 here. So it's not too much oak because it's an old barrel. And for this one, I felt very ripe fruits again and very soft and very silky tannins. It was like velvet in the mouth. Let's put 5%. So here the oak helped to make the tannins a little bit softer. Okay. For the two last bottles, here we have 100% Syrah. This one is a younger barrel, so it will be more concentrated in oaky aromas. And on this one, I felt a lot of chocolate aromas, which comes from the barrel actually. So also dark cherry and a little bit of mint, which will add a little bit of freshness. Okay. So 5% of this one, and for the last sample that we siphoned together, it is, as I told you, 100% Grenache, coming from a very young barrel up, and this one was very oaky, very full-bodied, and there was a lot of sweet spices like cinnamon for me. But it was very round, so it will add a little bit of roundness to our blend, which is ready. 100% made by me, and it will be 100% made by you if you come here. Okay, so we are going to mix a little bit our blend. Okay, and we are going to try it, because we want to know if it's good. That's the important part. I hope you guys enjoy the show. So let's try. Okay, a lot of fruit at the first nose, and we can guess a little bit of violet aromas, like flower aromas coming from the Syrah. Then the freshness of the licorice and the mint. And let's try it in the mouth. That's good. I'm quite proud of my blend right now. It's very fruity, like dark fruits, very ripe fruits like jammy aromas, like blackberries and black cherry. And the beginning of the tannins are quite soft, but then it gets drier and drier, and you have the acidity in the end, and it lasts very long. And then at the end of the mouth, you have the spices. That's very good, and I think that it's a bottle that we can keep for a few years because there is tannin and acidity, so that's great. Okay, I'm very happy with my blend, so now we are going to bottle it. So I don't want things to get too messy, so I'm going to use this pretty green thing. Let's do this. The color is great. Okay, almost there. Hopla. We don't want to fill completely the bottle. Okay, just a little bit more. And okay, now I think we're good. It's full. It's important to put to make a full bottle, because if you have a little bit of air inside, it could oxidate your wine through the age. So now we are perfect. But hey, there's something missing, right? The cork, the cap, and the label. So let's put the cork on our bottle. So up, I just put the bottle here. Here it is. Then I just put the cork on the hole, and you're going to see that it will be pressured, and it will just go inside. You need a little bit of strength, not like me. Okay, that's good. Up. I need to improve my musculation. Well, it's corked. Great. Perfect. So now let's do the cap. The cap, we are going to wax the top of the bottle. So you just have to put the top of your bottle inside the wax, and then you turn. Let's do this. Okay, put it inside, and then just turn and turn and turn it around like that until it dries. Oh, there's a beautiful shade of blue. Great. So it's drying, drying, drying. I think it's good. Look at that. It's ready. Oh no, I forgot the label. I made a very special label today, and you will be able to personalize your own label when you will come here to make your own bottle. And today I decided to personalize the label to Wine Path. Thank you very much, Wine Path, for giving us this opportunity. And this is your bottle. You can come anytime at the Domaine de Fontenille to grab it. We'll save it for you if we don't drink it before. Of course, drink with moderation. That's obvious. Okay. Let's put the label quite straight. That's perfect. Up down. And we've got it. We made it. You are now officially a blend master. So I hope you enjoyed this introduction to the Domaine de Fontenille. I hope you enjoyed making your own bottle with me today. And I wish to see you at the winery here. I will be really happy to show you around the property and to make a blend master with you. Thank you very much and have a beautiful day. Bye bye.